Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, we have some good news for you today, which is always nice to bring to you guys, and it's not always the case, but basically a quick overview as to what happened, and then we'll get into the details of the actual ruling. Because there is a lot of detail on there, we will skim it for video purposes. I will leave a link to it down below in the video description, but it's over 60 pages, and honestly, it has a lot of very well thought out, well-reasoned points that folks like myself and many others have made here on the channel and other channels. But basically what it did is it threw out the bump stock ban, which was enacted by the ATF through fiat. So again, for the new folks here, following the Las Vegas shooting where there was reports that bump stocks were used in that case, basically President Trump as well as the NRA came together in an effort to deprive Americans of their civil liberties and deprive them of the right to use bump stocks how they see fit. So backing up even more, what is a bump stock? So a bump stock is a piece of plastic that you can attach to certain types of firearms, which will allow you to bump fire a firearm. And bump firing is just using the inertia of recoil to aid in firing a rifle. People have been bump firing rifles literally for over 100 years now. It's been going on forever. You can use a lot of different devices for it, including a belt loop, including a piece of string, including a rubber band. Lots of different things can be used for it, or just your shoulder, in fact. But basically, again, following the Las Vegas shootings, President Trump requested that the ATF ban them, which of course is not how laws work in the United States. In the United States, things have to be passed through the legislature and Congress, and then of course signed into law by the president, and then they also have to be constitutional. So there's a few different things that have to happen in order for things to be lawful. In this case, my opinion, as well as the judges in this case, that did not happen. And the ruling was 13-1. So it was an overwhelming majority coming out of the Fifth Circuit. So that's pretty good news for us. Again, I'm only going to read a couple points to it, and the link to the actual ruling will be down below. But basically, the ATF, this is what was ruled anyway, the ATF lacks the authority to make law. And it goes on to say, the judges in this case say that the US law defines what a machine gun is, which is absolutely true. The Gun Control Act as well as the National Firearms Act both have definitions of what an actual machine gun is. And in this case, they found that it absolutely does not meet that definition for a litany of reasons, not just one, but multiple. And basically the background that they used in this ruling, I'm going to read this portion, I have one other portion that I'm going to read as well, states that public pressure to ban bump stock was tremendous. Multiple bills, which is key, to that effect were introduced in both houses of Congress, but before they could be considered in earnest, ATF published the regulation at issue here, short-circuiting the legislative process. Appellate Michael Cargill surrendered several bump stocks to the government following the publication of the regulation at issue. He now challenges the legality of that regulation, arguing that a bump stock does not fall within the definition of machine gun as set forth under federal law, and thus that the ATF lacked the authority to issue a regulation purporting to define the term as such. Cargill is correct. A plain reading of the statutory language paired with the close consideration of the mechanics of a semi-automatic firearm reveals that a bump stock is excluded from the technical definition of a machine gun set forth in the Gun Control Act and the National Firearms Act. Following that paragraph, which is a bombshell in and of itself, the judges throw in the actual definition of a machine gun from the Gun Control Act, stating the term machine gun means any weapon which shoots, is designed to shoot, or can be readily restored to shoot automatically more than one shot without manual reloading by a single function of the trigger. And as many folks have argued since this ban went into place, the single function of the trigger truly is what separates the bump stock from many other devices which could purportedly be ruled to be machine guns. With a bump stock, there absolutely is not more than one function of the trigger per round fired. They go through an excellent explanation in terms of a technical discussion of how triggers work, how sears work, how resets work. It's actually quite surprising to read as a gun person just how well they actually got this ruling. Again, there will be a link if you guys want to read it down below, but they explain in detail how a bump stock does not meet this definition at all, which is something many folks have been arguing since this ruling was enacted. And again, the court absolutely agreed with that. After the court lays out its case as to why this isn't a machine gun, the ATF then goes on to state that they have Chevron deference in the case. And it's a fancy legal term, but what essentially it means is that they're an executive agency that falls under the president, and they can regulate things even if it's not outlined in law. Now, the judges here denied that claim, stating it was absolutely invalid. They had absolutely no Chevron deference, which is absolutely true because, as noted by the Supreme Court in a recent EPA case and a slew of other cases, regulatory agencies simply cannot make law. They have to simply go on what the law is, and if there is a discrepancy, then it has to go to Congress and then again the president to change that law. The executive agencies cannot do that on themselves, and the judge actually pointed out that the ATF was inconsistent with previous decisions, and a key point here was that they said that no fair notice for criminal law change was given to people who own these. So basically what they were saying there is that if you own one of these, how would you know that now you are committing a felony subject to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine, which is absolutely true. This, again, did not go through Congress. The representatives of the people who might own these didn't debate this on a public floor. It was just overnight banned and ruled to be a felony if you were in possession of this device by executive fiat by the Trump administration as well as the ATF. And I've got one more quote here from the opinion before we actually close the video out. It states, "And the dissenting opinions resort to policy argument only underscores the judiciary's proper role. It is our responsibility to apply the law as written, regardless of what we think about the law's wisdom or utility." Again, hearkening back to the Chevron deference argument that we went over earlier in the video and we've gone over in other videos, but that transitions us to the next point that I want to make before closing the video out. As of right now, it's beginning of January when I'm making this video, and literally any day the brace rule may drop from the ATF. This is another attempt by the ATF and the Department of Justice to create law. What they're trying to do there, for folks who are new, is take a pistol brace, which has always been legal. It's never been illegal. The ATF doesn't have the ability to regulate pieces of plastic that can be put on the end of a firearm. And what they're trying to do is say that if you have one of those on your firearm, it turns it into a short barrel rifle, short barrel shotgun, or something else that is covered under the National Firearms Act, which again, if you possess it, could lead to 10 years in prison or a $10,000 fine. Now, this ruling, our proposed rule, has been pushed back twice now as of when I'm recording this video. And that's a good sign for us who want to maintain our civil liberties and use braces as we see fit. Now, with this rule, a couple questions that I ask of you guys down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Does this impact the bump stock rule? And will they even put, the brace rule, and will they even put the brace ruling out now that we have this ruling? Because this is actually the second ruling. I believe the Sixth Circuit Court ruled in a very similar manner, but without as strong of language on the actual bump stocks. So now with those two rulings from the circuit courts, will the ATF actually release the pistol brace ruling? There's certainly a possibility that they won't. My opinion is there's probably a more than 50% chance that they will, just to let it play out in the courts and give a quote-unquote win for the people who want to deprive us of our civil rights. But there certainly is a possibility that they won't. Again, let me know what you think down below in the comments section. That's really all I got for you guys. This is a huge win on many, many levels. I glossed over the technical part of it, but the technical part is a huge win as well. So definitely check out the ruling if you're interested in that. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you all for watching. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. If you don't follow me on social media where I made this announcement before I could make this video, follow me on all the different sites down below. We have plenty of new ones for Instagram and Facebook because they've deleted my old ones, so check those out. And if you guys like this type of video and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here despite being subscribed, you can sign up for my email list at the website here on your screen. This email goes out once a month and it has all of the videos since the previous month's email, so that way you're aware of what's going on and there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. Additionally, if deals happen, whether it be on ammunition, accessories, optics, firearms themselves, anything related to that bump stock, should they become back in stock anywhere, they will be in my daily deals email, and you can sign up for that at the website here on your screen as well. And with that, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.